What if I tell you that the place you are seeing now is the same place as this? Grab your umbrella and your trekking shoes because today we are going to Aba, the Enyimba city itself. But we aren't going there to buy shoes or Aba-made suits. No, we are going to a place that used to look like the entrance to the underworld. But today it's looking like a miracle happened. I'm talking about the Ovom Street Erosion Project. If you haven't heard about Ovom Street, then you haven't been following the violence that nature was meting out to the people of Aba North. But don't worry, your favorite reporter is here to break it down, from the Valley of the Shadow of Death to the commissioning ceremony that just happened on Wednesday, February 25, 2026. Let's be real. Before Governor Alex Otti showed up, if you lived on Ovom Street, you basically needed a visa to go to your neighbor's house. Why? Because a massive gully erosion had literally swallowed the road. We aren't talking about a small pothole here. We are talking about a gully so deep, about 42 meters deep, that it could swallow an 8-story building. Imagine waking up, looking out your window, and instead of seeing your neighbor's gate, you are seeing a cliff that looks like the Grand Canyon, but with more mud and shege. For years, the people of Ovom, Arochukwu, Ike-Otunye, and Long John Street were living in fear. Homes were collapsing, businesses were being buried, people had to evacuate. It was a ghost town. The previous governments, they did what they do best. They looked, they promised, they took photos, and then they vanished like a Yahoo boy after a successful hustle. Here is where the story gets interesting. When Governor Alex Otti took over in 2023, he didn't wait for bureaucracy or ecological fund from Abuja. You know how it is in Nigeria. If you wait for federal government money to fix a hole in your compound, that hole will eventually become a borehole, then a well, then a lagoon before the money arrives. Otti visited the site in 2024. He saw the disaster, and instead of just shaking his head and saying God will help us, he gave the general manager of the Greater Aba Development Authority, GADA, a simple instruction: fix it now. He didn't care about the cost. He didn't care about the due process that takes 3 years to approve a bag of cement. He mobilized contractors immediately. He even provided temporary accommodation for the families whose houses were hanging on the edge of the cliff. That is what we call action over talk. They used something called rigid pavement technology. For those of us who didn't study engineering, that's just a fancy way of saying they used serious concrete and iron to make sure that road never moves again. They filled a 600-meter-long gully. They stabilized the soil. They built drainage systems that actually work, not the ones that just collect pure water sachets and mosquito larvae. The engineers worked day and night, even during the dry season, to make sure this valley of death became a plain of life. Fast forward to February 25, 2026, Aba was lit. Governor Otti arrived, not just to cut a ribbon, but to celebrate a watershed moment. He was joined by the Iron Lady herself, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, who we talked about earlier, and even Senator Enyimba-Radisson. Otti's speech was classic. He said, and I quote, "A few years ago, the situation at Ovom was seemingly hopeless. Today, the story has changed." But the real violence was when he said he doesn't need to put up billboards to show his achievements. He said the smiles on the faces of the landlords and residents are his billboards. Ouch! That's a direct sub to those governors who spent 200 million naira to advertise a 50 million naira culvert. And get this, while he was commissioning the road, he also did the groundbreaking for the Enyimba-Radisson hotel. You know that 50-year-old abandoned Enyimba hotel? They're turning it into a 5-star Radisson Blue. Aba really is rising, people. From erosion site to 5-star hotel, that is the kind of glow up we want for Nigeria. I saw a video of a widow. She was crying, but not the "who go help me" kind of cry. These were tears of joy. She had stayed through the erosion, held on to her house by faith, and today she can walk on tarred road again. The residents even released a statement thanking the action governor. They said they no longer believe the lie that their stars are at fault. They now know that the problem wasn't their stars, it was their leaders.